Hey, I think we're
Hey,
live.
hey, 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 hey there.
I think it's a go.
It's a go.
All right, cool.
The broadcast is live.
Hey.
Hey there.
A lot of times we go live and you see people trying to figure stuff out, and now I get it because I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make sure we're doing it right. All right, I think we're good.
We rolling.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I think it's supposed to be on all the streams and stuff. We'll see, or somebody will tell us. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, all right. So
We
we get
here
to
with
talk. Yeah, we get to talk as if we didn't just see each other just a couple of
hours.
hours ago, but that's okay.
Barely couple.
That is all right. Okay. All right. So, all right, let's get started. We're not going to be on here extra long, and we are not going to act like this is like a whole formality. We really just wanted to come and talk about our virtual assistant journey. And I've said it before, I'm still in awe that we're where we are. And going back and thinking about how it started, I was like, I'm thinking about so many other small business owners, childcare business owners that something like what we've done could really benefit them, especially when we're going through like a staffing crisis and you're trying to figure out how to get people in your building or in your business. I just saw a couple of posts, and actually, it's been a lot of buzz around how AI is taking over and seeing. I was just at Giant, and you see the little robot type thing going through the aisles and stuff, and it's like, I'm like, is that because there's no staff to work, or is it cheaper, or are they like, we're going to do away with people not showing up, or we can't hire, so we're just going to replace them with technology. So, I was wondering if what we've kind of done could benefit other people. So I'm like, why not talk about it?
Mm-hmm.
And kind of share. So, all right, virtual assistant. It's funny because did I call it virtual assistant at the beginning? I don't know if that was the agreement that we created.
No, I just feel like we might have said VA, and then it got to the executive assistant, and we was there with it. I stuck to
So, all right. So if we take a step back, it all started a year and a half ago. I don't know if
Yeah,
it was 2 years.
2021. Yes.
Two
Yeah.
2 years ago, I know that I was in a space where, so that's like coming out of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
the whole COVID thing. I don't remember the timeline, but coming out of it, overwhelmed, trying to figure stuff out as a business owner. I felt like with technology, now you were bombarded with all these Zoom meetings, and it felt like a lot of stuff was being crammed in. We're getting ready to open the centers back, and it was a lot to do. And for us, we have a number of different funding sources. So we had all these requirements, all these regulations. And I don't remember what job you were doing, like what you were doing, but you were working from home and you were
Mm-hmm.
available.
Yes, I was doing another virtual assistant job, but I like 2020 I started that job and I was not happy there. And I was like, I'm gonna just ask her, but you weren't ready yet. We were still like in
Yes.
COVID a little bit, so you weren't ready. Come July, I asked again, and you were in need at that time anyway. So like it clicked right there. That's where it started. Last
It
2021.
worked out. It
Yeah.
worked out. It was like a blessing in disguise because what I felt like happened was I had a need, you had a need, and it was like, all right, let's just figure out how I could get my needs met, you get your needs met. I was definitely willing to pay for what it is that I needed. And interestingly, I think sometimes we overthink it because the fact that you said that I wasn't ready yet,
Hmm.
like, how was I not ready when I had a list of things that needed to get done? I feel like I didn't know how to delegate. I didn't know how to unpack it
Hmm.
and ask for the help. So
Hmm.
when you're somebody who is used to doing everything themselves,
Hmm.
and I know for me, a lot of times I would feel like if someone asks, do you need help or can I help you? The thought of having to train someone or even pass it over felt like a job in itself. So it was easier to just say, no, I got it. It doesn't even make sense though, because you're like, can I help you? No, because I can't afford to take out time to train
Mhm.
you. So I got it. I'm going to stay overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So yeah, I think so. That's how. Yeah, my current story exactly. I was there already. I was there already, and so we got to the point where I really, honestly, didn't even delegate or share with her everything that I needed. I just started somewhere because I think I shared with everybody in one of my videos or something about how QuickBooks would I hated QuickBooks. Like I hated logging in and seeing 250 plus transactions that needed to get like reconciled. I hated it. So I started there. And I think the great part for me was that there was already a level of trust between us. So I didn't really have to worry about passing over some things, which I think could be different for some people. But if I could do it all over again, if I already had chunked together things that I needed and wanted to delegate, it would have been so much easier. However, I think the fact that you were like, just tell me everything that you need and you took it from there totally helped.
Yeah, and it's a trust thing all the time. So like it was other people that asked like, "Well, how did you get to the space where you say to her like, I'm good," and she'll be like, "All right, cool," and keep pushing. And it was like you have to reassure people like we talking about things that they've done on their own. They know how to do things that it might be really touchy information, and like the stuff that I was doing was really touchy. Like I was seeing people's pay stubs. I was seeing, how much we were spending in the centers and all that other stuff and money we were getting in. Like it was a lot of touchy information. So a lot of times it's hard for people to give that up. Like that's like giving up your bank account information, your own stuff. So at the end of the day, it's you understanding that it's not easy and being able to say, it's no problem. I get that we got to build trust first. But when we do build that trust, I need you to fall back and I need you to trust that I got it. And another thing that I would tell people is just show them like, oh, here, this is where I'm at, like, is this good for you? And that'll build the trust because then it's like, okay, they understand me, they want my opinion as well. So stuff like that, like you just have to understand that it's not going to be easy, but being understanding and being able to communicate easily will always work. So it starts off like it is going to be a journey, but if you're like chill, trustworthy, understanding, you listen, like it's always listening. Like if you don't understand your customer, like
Agreed.
just move on
Agreed.
because it's no point if you don't understand. If you're not like, it's bad to say, like you really need to be in their head, like know exactly what they want, know
Yes.
exactly what they're about to say, like so that's what the executive assistant job entails. Like you being able to, they don't have the words but you do, so it's like exactly, and you go flip that work in an hour, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's done, and she be like, it was
I
done
didn't
in
expect that.
minutes.
I didn't expect that. Yeah, it was done really quickly. And I think what we also didn't share was that you weren't even in the same city or state as me. You were still in Miami.
Yeah.
I was in Philly. And that's why I think it also worked too, was I literally was able to hand over things that you didn't have to be in the office to do. So if we had any business owners that you just need stuff, that's so many things now are electronic. It's not a matter of you need to sit next to me at the next computer and get the work done. It's like, here's some things that you can do over the computer that will literally free up time. It will make sure that we're still compliant, because there were a number of things that was slipping through the cracks for me that, to be honest, 2 years ago, there were times when I wasn't too concerned about compliance at times because I was too busy worrying about getting back into the center, getting back into the business, making sure that everyone was safe and healthy because a lot of people were nervous about coming back after COVID. So I had to make sure that staff were there. We were keeping everyone safe. You had smaller cohorts of children. I was more concerned about that versus paperwork. So it really helped to be able to give these tasks to someone that I could stay compliant. I can keep my funding sources. I could just say, can you help me get my back end stuff organized while I handle this stuff that's kind of like more urgent right now. So when I think back, yes, those things were really important, but when you're having to prioritize in the business, you have to be able to take a look and say, okay, in this moment, here's what I need to delegate to keep me on track, keep my money flowing while I go over here and handle that. And that's why I think too, it really worked. And honestly, I agree. If we go back talking about the trust part, the fact that I could give you a few things, you take it, run with it, get it done quickly. It was like, oh, okay. So now we can add more.
Right.
So I'm thinking for anyone who you need some things done right now, you might not automatically hand over payroll or things that are that sensitive, in regards to confidentiality. It might even be creating spreadsheets
Mm-hmm.
to track stuff. It might not be that confidential. However, if I think about how long it takes me to create a spreadsheet, I like formatting stuff. So I'm all trying to create it so it looks nice. And then by the time I'm done, we're talking 2 hours that I could have knocked out something more urgent, something that may have been income generating, that if I just handed it off to someone else at a different pay rate, it's a win-win. I get it done. I'm supporting someone else's employment, and I get to go do something else. We're knocking out three things right there, at least,
Mm-hmm.
at least.
Yeah.
So yeah, that when I think back, it was like, okay, I didn't hand over everything, and it got to the point too where it was like, you know what? Because again, I had a hard time delegating initially, and I don't know if you decided or I decided to meet weekly and kind of brain dump. And it was like Sundays we created our recurring
Yeah, I
meeting.
had to do that. I think that was me because it was like, okay, you're stuck.
I
Like
was.
it got to the point where it was like I was like, all right, so I'm done with snacks. And you was like, oh
I
no,
didn't have
nothing right
anything.
now. Like let's check in next week, huh? No, ma'am. Not you still working from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. So it
Yes.
was like, okay, on Sundays, like throughout the week, let's think, let's jot stuff. On Sundays, let's meet, and I need you to just talk and just say, and then I'll write down, and what I write down, let's meet. It don't take me nothing but 20 minutes in a little, barely 20 minutes in a Zoom meeting for you to tell me everything. And then it was like, all right, say no more. Send me all the information. Send me the forms, whatever I gotta do. Let's get it done. Let's keep it pushing. And then it got to the point where I was helping other admin staff. So it was like,
I had to
it was
pass you on to
nothing.
somebody. It's funny because you were getting stuff done a little too fast, and I didn't. I would have one task, and it's like, okay, cool, that'll keep her busy for a moment while I go over here, and then you'll come back for something else, and I didn't have it, and so I really wasn't optimizing you supporting me because I wasn't prepared to like give you the work that you were ready to do.
Yeah.
And so that's it. She a little too fast. She was a little too fast. Who complains about somebody being a little too fast? But it was a little too fast. And I think, I don't know if anyone else can relate, but I had never had like a virtual assistant or someone to support me in that way. So I wasn't fully prepared for it, which I think sometimes that's what hold people back from getting someone to help them.
Mhm.
Is that again, whether it's I don't have time to train them or I don't really know how to have one.
Mhm.
That's where I think these conversations about systems and operations and all of that comes into play. And I also think that's what holds us up as business owners is that we're stuck in that space and we can't allow someone to help us so that we can break through like that
Mhm.
glass ceiling, if you will, or break through that barrier where let somebody help me so it can free me up to do all the other stuff. But we get stuck in this space and we say we want to get out, and oh my gosh, I just wish I had help, or oh my gosh. But then when you get it, you're not ready to receive the support.
Right.
That's what's interesting.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah.
interesting part.
And it got to the point where, remember, we had to do some redirection. It was like, all right, yeah, let me go book this flight, and I'm like, huh? It's cool. Send me the dates, the hotel. What are you looking for? And I had to know her style. So again, knowing your customer, knowing what they like. I was never going to be looking for anything under a 4.7 hotel. I was never going to be looking at any other airlines outside of American, outside of first class. It was like, you have to know your customer. You have to the point where they just don't know what they need, but you know. So,
That's
like,
it.
that's always the key. Like, you knowing better than they know, because again, they don't know. Like you said, it's just like a brain fart. It's just like, I don't. What do you
Literally.
want me to say? And I'm sitting here like, what do you need? That's what I want from you. So
I agree.
yeah,
And I love what you
definitely.
said too, in regards to kind of just knowing you have to know your person because
Hmm.
I didn't know. I didn't know. And I think you pushed me to learn how to have a virtual assistant. It was kind of like, all right, let me help you. Let me help you help yourself so that I can help you better.
Hmm.
So, of course, as how would you suggest to fully prepare? So that's something too. We're working on creating kind of this system to help people identify what you should be working on and what you need to delegate.
Right.
You need to be prepared beforehand before you can even have someone support you.
Hmm.
But even beyond allowing someone to support you, you also need to be managing your own time so that your time isn't managing you. It's like you're not racing, trying to figure out, oh my goodness, an hour passed already. No, you're kind of managing your minutes and then managing your hours and managing your days and not letting them run you. And so when you kind of look at it strategically and manage your time effectively, then you already know what's coming up. And if someone were to say, how can I help you? Oh, you know what? Here's the list of things I have planned for today or for this week.
Yeah.
Here's some tasks. You're already ready.
Hmm.
And now how great would that be ready for someone to come help you?
Yep.
Because I swear it would be, can you help me? No, you know what? You can, but I don't know how to give it to you, so I won't. And
Hmm.
so preparing yourself to, I just came like, prepare yourself to get the help.
Hmm.
And
And that's
maybe,
manifest.
yeah, like maybe we're so used to
You
not
better
getting
write your
help.
list.
We don't prepare.
Yeah, write your list, set it to the side, and you will find your
Like,
VA. Like,
that's
literally,
like manifest.
manifest.
That's like,
Hello. Write your
yes,
list, set it to the side, right at the top, for my future virtual assistant,
I
executive
love that.
assistant, whatever that is for you,
I
and
like
write
that.
it down, and write how long it take you. And I'm telling you, compare and contrast, because half of the stuff that took my mom an hour will take QuickBooks take me 5 to 10 minutes, both sites, and it's nothing.
I hated it. And that's a good point too. Did I have time to do it? Could I do it? Yes, I didn't like to do it. So
Right.
why
That
spend
too.
time doing something you don't like doing?
Yeah.
And it takes you 5 minutes. I got something for you.
Yeah.
If you could get it done and it doesn't stress you out, I want to do stuff that I enjoy doing and it's like moving the business forward faster.
Right.
Was that important? Yes, but let me work on this over here. That's what
Hmm.
I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
we.
want to miss out on questions.
Ooh.
Uh, how would you suggest? Okay. All right. So we did the how would you gain access to knowing your customer? Ooh, what would you say to that? How would you gain access to knowing your customer?
Again, definitely starting with the trust. Like, for me, it was starting off, you already know. Like, for my mom, I already knew it was like, okay, this is tight for her. She's closed lipped. She doesn't say too much. She says enough. So I already know that. So I think it starts in the initial meeting of what this job is, what they're looking for, how you can help them. It always starts with that, because as much as they tell you is going to show how open they are and how willing they are at that moment. Like again, my mom is very closed lip, and I know, like most people that know her know she's closed lip. She doesn't say too much. Like she's a very good secret keeper. So I already knew that about her, and I knew, okay, so I have to understand that I have to also say to her, like, it's okay, you could trust me, I got you. I And she said to me, remember you said to me, I want to make sure you know that anything we talk about, anything you see, you are quiet about. So, like starting off with the transparency too. Like you gotta, this is business. You gotta be
Daughter-in-law.
Yeah,
I was like, this is very confidential. And
yeah.
if I even hear any of the information shared, that
Mm-hmm.
is an issue. Like you did.
Exactly.
So that's a great point too. Is like state your non-negotiables. Like here's my
Yeah.
expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Um, here's what's acceptable. Here's what I expect. Here are non-negotiables. Like
Right.
that's just not okay.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yep.
I forgot I said that. You're right. I did.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah.
and that's interesting too. That's interesting, especially for anyone watching or who will watch the replay. You may not always have this close relationship with someone. To me, it was a blessing, and if you could find someone that you know and trust,
Mm-hmm.
and we know the family dynamic isn't always the most ideal. However, if you have that person that you trust and
Yep.
know, start there. But
Right.
if not, because some people prefer to work with someone that they don't know,
Yep.
which, you know, but you still need to make it very clear whether you know them, trust them already or not. Here is what I expect from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's for a virtual assistant, that's for an employee, that's for in a relationship, that's in any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Here is how our relationship is going to work, and be very clear about what it is that you need. Because that's
Yep.
where we mess up. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, see, it's so easy to say, no, I don't like that. No, don't like that. Nope. But if you set me up for success at the beginning in
Right.
regards to what it looks like, because we always talk about that phrase, I love Brene Brown, but paint it done.
Mm-hmm.
So what does done look like?
Right.
You paint that picture from the beginning. Here's what done looks like. We don't have to keep wasting time going back and forth. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. At some point, it's like, okay, can you show me? Can you show me what it looks like or what you want done?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Yes. And definitely, again, like being able to understand that person, and also like outside of the keeping secrets and stuff like that, is also understanding that my mom is laid back. So once I go to take my work, she's not going to hear from me, I'm not going to hear from her unless it's outside of that. So like just like paying attention, like like you have to pay attention, because if not, you're going to miss the target. You have to pay attention to what they like, their verbiage, how they talk, what they do and don't like. You'll definitely figure it out as you go, as you have more Zooms conversations, in-person conversations. You'll understand how that person is and how they work. So I think it always starts off in the initial meeting, how open they are.
agreed, agreed.
Hmm.
Oh, Chris, oh, that's a good one. So, what happens when the owner isn't organized?
I make you organize. Period. Ain't no issue with that. Like again, like being able to trust that person. So if I'm here and I'm judging you, how does that make you feel? It's that's not the case. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to make a virtual assistant is not like, first of all, virtual assistants are to help you get organized. Point blank period. Like that's what they are. Executive assistants, assistants in general are to help you in the spots that you really need help in. So that means you're disorganized, and that's okay. Like none of us are 100% organized, and I think as a virtual assistant, as an executive assistant, your thing is liking to have things organized. Like I used to come down just to make sure they was organized in their office. I would go to Bustleton. I would be getting my mom office together, wiping down that chair. I'll be wiping down the computer, the desk, everything. I would go to Porsche office. I do the same thing. Write them notes. Have a great day. Like stuff like that. Like there should be no shame in being unorganized, and that's okay because again, that's what virtual assistants are, and they are supposed to help you be organized. So all I'm gonna do is get you organized. That's it. And it's gonna take no time. Again, what takes you 2 hours is going to take me 30 minutes or less.
Yes.
So
And so I think with that, you would have to be honest with
yes.
your assistant in regard. Like, here's where you could call it weakness if you like, or here's where I struggle. Here's
Hmm.
a challenge for me. Like, if you put that out there from the beginning, then they can say, "Oh, okay, here's how I can help."
Right.
And like, I love the fact that you weren't there physically all the time, but we put it in the schedule to
Hmm.
where as though you would come X amount of weeks. Was it every other month? I
It
think
was every month, once a week.
it was, yes, because then we had
Only
like
one week.
paperwork managing.
Yeah.
You would come on site, and
Hmm.
then it would also give you I think it made you acclimated too in regards to what was actually going
Yeah.
on, in the center. It gave
Hmm.
you greater insight, and then you could help even more because you were able to put your eyes on it
Right.
and connect the dots, which
Yes.
totally made sense.
Hmm.
um oh, another question: do you allow creativity for your virtual assistant? What her done looks like? Yes, yep, absolutely. And I think that also is where the trust comes in at, because to be honest, I don't want someone who is just doing everything that I say, or that I have to tell you what to do. I
Hmm.
want someone who can, okay, I get an idea of as to how you work.
Hmm.
I get a clearer picture of what you want. I can add in from there. Let me be creative. I wanted to hear ideas. And I think a lot of the things we ended up doing was based on what you suggested. Like, okay, we ended up finding systems that we use together so that we could communicate and collaborate. At some point, we didn't have to meet that much because I was communicating through our system, which
Hmm.
we're also going to share in our business implementation program. We're going to show people how to actually use these electronic systems. It's so many productivity tools out there
Hmm.
that you can use and collaborate with other people. That way, we didn't have to meet as much, but I could be drafting up this list of things along the way to say, here's what I need you to work on. So by the time we got to the end of the week, I didn't have to sit down and think of all the stuff. I was already drafting it up or
Right.
communicating through the system. So it worked.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Isis, how does one get started if they'd like to become a virtual assistant? Where do you recommend them getting started?
I would say definitely building skills up would be one. So the biggest thing that people need right now, data entry, finance skills, especially QuickBooks, PayPal, any invoicing system. Definitely Microsoft Excel, that's a big one. Google Workspace, Outlook, what is that? Microsoft 365. Um those are like the biggest, especially in social media managing, making posters, making flyers, stuff like that. I would say start there, like working on it. But also, as you're looking for a job as well, I was looking on, what was it? LinkedIn. I wouldn't suggest Indeed, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. LinkedIn definitely has, like, that's a good system. Outside of that, I would look for business owners that you may know that may be slacking a little bit, may need some help, may say they need some help, and let them know, like, oh, this is what I do. I could start off with like 10 hours a week. That's how much I start off right now. Probably less. I think I start off with like 5 hours.
It
five
was.
hours
It
a
was
week.
just a
It's
couple
part.
of,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like literally 5 hours a week. I can help you with a little bit of stuff. That's no problem. For you can start. I'm telling you, 200-300 a week gonna take you somewhere. and
Yeah.
that's gonna build like literally. So little stuff like data entry, making social media posts. Um, what was the other one I just said? Microsoft Excel, Canva, all that stuff. I would say start there, and let them know a lot of people use social media right now. That's the biggest thing. Find somebody that needs help with social media. It's a lot of people. You could look on their page and be like, oh my goodness, they need some help, and you could let them know I'm very creative. You could make a couple of things on Canva for free. They got some free stuff, and that could be your little portfolio. And then you start off there, and again, build that trust, and then you can move further. So I would say start there. And did I answer the second part?
Oh, yeah.
I did. Okay, good.
Yeah. And that's such a good point too, because I not only mentioned it was business and it was like personal.
Yeah.
So
So I
it
was
did
also,
start
yeah.
with the business. It started with like those QuickBooks and like
Mm-hmm.
financial stuff, and then it did also go to the other business,
Yeah.
which was social media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I started realizing as I went along, I don't like doing that, or that's taking too much of my time, or it was like, oh, you're creative in that. That was fast. Let me add this.
Right.
And then, like you said, booking flights and vacations and
Yeah.
all the stuff that I just did not want to do.
Yeah, reservations, like like little stuff that helps your person get from. They're the visionary. They should not be doing little tasks like data entry. They could pay somebody good money to do that stuff. So the visionary should be in the visionary spot. They should be making sure the business gets further, which is way bigger task than we're able to take right now. And I think just letting like being able to build that trust and always understanding. So yeah, allow them to be the visionary and you do the little tasks and that take you far.
Agreed.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. Agree. Yes, the visionary. Like please let me just
Yes.
in my visionary seat. That's where I thrive.
I had to
Stay
push
in the
her very hard.
space you thrive.
Yeah.
Yes,
It was a push, and sometimes you do have to push them and also be able to say, look, I got you, no worries. That reassurance take you far. So allow them to be the visionary and voice that I got you. These small tasks, no problem. You stick to that big stuff I know you got going on over there.
agreed. Agreed.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Uh, it was one more. Would you feel comfortable in training individuals if they like to get started, like a mastermind?
Oh. You know what's funny, y'all? Yeah, so soon enough, after the business implementation program that we're going to be having starting May 24th, I will be launching the virtual concierge business, and I will be training people starting this summer. It won't be rolling out this summer, but soon enough after I start getting people trained, getting them to where, how I started and jump start from just exactly how I did. So I definitely will be doing that soon. It won't be it could be a mastermind. It could start off as a mastermind, but I'm looking to have a team of virtual assistants and branch them out to a billion different business owners, as many as we can, because again, they should sit in their visionary seat as we do the good stuff.
I
Yes.
love that. A billion different businesses. That's good. I
We
think
manifest.
that was oh. Is there an age limit for trainees?
No, there's not. Um,
I love that.
Depends on what the job is.
Absolutely. And so
Depends.
when she asked that question, it made me think about
Sailor.
Sailor is so good. She's what 11,
Yeah.
11, and she has her job as well. She
Hmm.
has her job, and no, there's no. Well, I guess they were asking though for you in regards to if it was too if someone was too young to begin their VA business with you. I guess.
No, 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 no. That's a great question, and thank you for that question. You got me thinking. Because of the answer we just gave, I'm gonna say no, but it'll be like restrictions as to how far and what's being taught to certain age group. 18 and up, I'll definitely be giving the nitty gritty, the good, like the deep stuff, finance and all that. But under that, I probably will just be doing like social media, pictures, um, maybe Photoshop. We'll see, but it's no age limit.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right, I will. I think that is really it. Like we were saying, we definitely have what we did too is thinking about. I know I can't be the only business owner that was in need of something like this. I know so many other business owners, not just in childcare, talks about the need of staff and support and not really being able to do some of this work because they don't have someone to help them in their programs. And it doesn't have to be, the thing is we don't always have to be in this box, right? Like even a virtual assistant doesn't have to be working any particular hours, right? Who knows if this person is on the East Coast, if they're not, whatever the case may be, you could live in California and then we're on the East Coast, and connecting that way still works. It doesn't have to be particular hours. We just have to identify the need and be able to communicate it and get the need met. That's the key. So me thinking that I'm not the only business owner in need of this, it was like, well, share it with other people because this could be the resolve. There
Hmm.
is a staffing crisis. Everyone doesn't want to necessarily be in a center or in a brick and mortar. They may be able to help you virtually. So why not get the help, connect with someone? We're creating this program really for people who, two things, they need to learn systems, they need to learn how to operate their businesses more effectively, don't know where to go. But we definitely looked at not just the things that we think people need to know, but everything that we did, which was creating policies, procedures, or standard operating procedures, managing your time, um, like QuickBooks, like your finances, project management,
Hmm.
um,
Working
all the
system.
things that we literally have done and worked on in the business that allow me personally to not have to work in the center as much because we put all this stuff in place. So it was like, why not just teach other business owners how you can connect with someone and get the job done, reduce the
Hmm.
amount of time that you have to work yourself, make your business more profitable, and then you can live the life that you want to live.
Yeah.
So that was it. And the other part too, because we literally had people ask us that. Sometimes we learn something and then we don't have the time to actually get the work done. Like I don't know about you guys, but I would be in class or I would be in school and it was like, okay, now here's your homework. And it's like, oh, okay, all right, I have a week to get it done. Next thing you know, next week's class came up and you didn't get it done. So the way we set the program up was share the information, teach the information in this community setting, and then towards the end or that second part of the session, we're actually doing the work. So by the time you log
Hmm.
off, you completed it already. Now, does that mean you can't add more stuff to it over the week? Yeah, but by the time you literally finish the class, we would have completed exactly what we were talking about, because when I log off, I have the kids waiting. The husband's here. You have all this other stuff to get done, and you don't have the time to do it. So why not utilize the time you're with your community, get it done, have the support of other people who are in the same space.
Hmm.
Next thing you know, after 8 weeks, you're like, it's in the can. I have the blueprint. Now all I have to do is move forward.
Yes. But it's also the best of both worlds. You have the executive director and the executive assistant. So you're getting the best of both worlds.
Didn't even think of that.
Yeah. That's that's
Didn't
that's
even think of that.
that because literally why did we make this program, huh? Because people were asking for, right. They were asking, well, if this is what ISIS do while you doing the visionary stuff, why she not, right. So
And they were trying to book you too. It was like,
right.
excuse me, can we want to talk to ISIS. Can you help me? It's like, It's like, wait, don't try to take her. Don't try to take her away. But we can show you how to do it. We can show
Yeah.
you how to do it. And now that I think about it, if you think about the issue I said that I had at the beginning, which was I didn't know how to pass it off.
Hmm.
If you learn all of this information, when someone comes, right? Because you affirm, you manifested that this person is coming,
Hmm.
you're already ready. You already know how, even if you didn't have all the policies created, you already have a framework for your policy, and you could tell them, here's what I need to do next. I haven't been able to get there because we created the blueprint already, or we created the foundation. And now all you need to do is share with somebody the vision, and they can run. Oh, make it plain, right? Write the vision, make it plain, and they who hear it take it and run with it. That's the word.
We be saying
That's
some
literally
good
the word.
stuff.
That's literally the word. I'm just saying that's from the Bible. Listen, biblical principles. I'm sorry. Yes. So yeah, that's all. We just really wanted to share for anyone else who have been in that same position, the same position I was in, really like transitioning out of like working in the center full time. If you want to free up your time, even if it's not, I don't want to work in the center at all or work in my business.
Hmm.
Maybe you just want, I don't know, you want to work 40 hours a week instead of 60,
Right.
or you want to work 4 days a week instead of five,
Right.
or whatever that is. There's a way to free yourself up. It's just, I think we just need help figuring out how to get help.
Hmm. Right
That's it.
there, Liz.
That's it. Write the list.
Hmm.
So, like Isis said, the Business Accelerator Implementer program, because it's focused on implementing and not just learning. Because I think that's a lot of times where we get stuck as we learn it, and now we haven't had an opportunity to implement. And so we are going to, teach you how to actually get it done. And that's one of our core values, is get it done. So I can assume that other businesses want to get the job done, don't know how to do it. We'll help you. 8 weeks, Wednesdays starting May 24th. And we'll share in the link. We shall share.
Hmm.
Yeah, we share the link if you are interested or want more information. And I always love communities too, because being in a community, you get to learn from other people.
Yep.
That's the way I love, is that you learn from whoever is teaching and presenting, and you also learn from the people who are in the program asking questions, sharing what they're doing as well. So,
Hmm.
yes, yay! Did you want to share anything else before we go?
No, I'm just really excited. And we have to drop in that it's gonna be working sessions. That's the
Oh,
best part.
yes,
The
yes.
working sessions will be the community all together. We'll have some good food, some good talks. We'll get a lot of work done. And then you'll have both of us in the same vicinity. So, anything, the best part we did our 4 sessions, working session, or is it 3 sessions, working session, 3 sessions, working session. So, between those 3 sessions, you're able to get any help you need and then continue on so that it's not so much you can't. So, get ready. I'm
Great.
excited.
Yay, me too. Thank you for manifesting for us, Miss Ford. Thank you. She says she's not there yet, but manifesting. Set up, have plans from the beginning with getting help. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Well, thank you guys for joining us, and we will share the video for those who were not able to join tonight. And yep, we'll also share the link if you want to find out more information. Again, May 24th, we are getting started. And we know that in business, it's about business. So yes, childcare expert, but it's not just about childcare. We're focused on business owners,
Mhm.
because we are business owners, and all these principles, they go between the two. So
Right.
that's it. I'm getting ready to, I have crabs, so I'm going to go eat them.
Ciao. Yes.
Yay.
Yes. See you
See you
later.
guys.
Bye, y'all.
Sorry, Miss Kristen S is a program in person. Thank you. So it's virtual. The classes are virtual. The working sessions
Or in person.
are in person. Those are in person. If there is someone like not local and they need to be virtual, that can be virtual as well. But the
Mm-hmm.
classes are virtual. Working sessions in person.
Yep.
Thank you for asking that. Thank
Great
you.
question. 7 to 9. We forgot that too.
7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Yep, and then click the link.
Eastern
Click the link.
Standard
It has
Time.
all the details. Eastern Standard. We studied talking about the story. Eastern Standard. Thank you. All right. See you guys. Any
See
questions,
ya.
let us know. See you soon.